Okay, good afternoon, all. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I've been out doing a bit of shopping, so I got caught up in the moment a bit, so bear with me a second. Let me just set everything up. So we got some news coming up at 3 o'clock. So, Karina, good morning to you. Yeah, sorry I'm late. Let me just set this up. So, I'll be with you in a second. So, let me just check everything opens as it should.
Order submitted.
Something's not working. Ah, okay.
Order
I
canceled.
know why. Now, let's see if that works.
Order submitted.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, Karina, good morning.
Order
Jay, good morning
cancelled.
to you. After the stream, yes, I did. I took one. I can't remember what it was now. It was something. It may have been that one there. Yeah, I went with the second. It was that one there I took there. So that one, yeah, it was. It was a little bit later. Yeah, it wasn't. It was a crap day, to be fair. Bear me a second. Sorry. Okay, excuse me a second. I'm just going to sign for a parcel. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so a little bit messy, to be fair. So everything is set up. Let me just... I wanted to ask you guys a question. I did post something the other day, and I got an answer, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. Let me just... Trouble is, because I can't sign into Rhythmic at the moment. Well, I can't even open the damn thing for some reason. I don't know why. I'm having to do all my accounts through Tradeovate, which is relatively new to me. And my concern is, what I liked about Rhythmic is I used to have a little box down the side of my screen here. So if any accounts weren't closed, I could see it clearly, and all I had to do is just quickly click the crosses. It's not so simple. So this is the Tradeovate, and this is where I've got the 5 accounts, the 5 funded Tradeify accounts. So if I want to shut, let's say for instance, some accounts haven't closed down, I've got to select there and close all positions, but it only closes positions in the one account. So then I've got to do it for each individual account. So someone said I could link all the accounts together. So I tried to do that, manage groups. So where's my group gone? I'm sure I set a group. I can't find it now, but I still couldn't figure out how with one click I could shut down all possible accounts that remained open. So I'm going to have to look into that. I don't know if you guys have any idea how to do that, but it's something I'm going to have to kind of have a play around with. That's what I liked about Rhythmic. It was right to the side of me, and all I had to do is go click, click, click for any crosses, and that was it. It was all sorted. So, anyway, so I finished streaming early yesterday, maybe around about here. So that was just a horrible day. Low volume. And I don't really know why. We just had chop, 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 chop most of the, at that early part. Then we went up a couple of legs and then we went down. Now, I noticed a few people had marked some of these. That's one I took. It looked like 2 legs up or a lower high, but we pushed up, crossed over, hit that line, come down. So my guess is that was going to come down, and it did pretty rapidly. And I watched the chart for maybe an hour and it did nothing else, so I just kind of left it alone. But at the moment, we're kind of doing more of the same, more of just chop, really. Obviously, there's a slight bullish bias to the day. We had these 2 legs down. We had a leg down and a larger leg down. Was quite overnight, but ever since we're generally kind of moving up. So whether there's possibly anything like that, there may be. I've gone from the bottom to this next swing. Is hard to say, but there's also a possibility of something kind of like that. That doesn't look terrible. So it's a bit hard to say, really. Trouble is, when it's not clear like that, we haven't got the confidence to take a trade. So actually, I'm going to put a little bit of colour to that just so it's an area of interest. And I've left that there as possibly something bigger, but we may be ranging. It's just hard to say, really. So let me just brighten myself up a little bit. Sorry, I'm a little bit flustered today. As I say, I just went out and did a little bit of shopping. I bought myself some new boxer shorts and a couple of t-shirts. And then I just noticed the time was 2 o'clock, so I had to kind of run around. I usually go out a lot earlier, so I'm a little bit behind. So let's just have a look what people are doing. So I'm not surprised Dan's got that. That's what I mean. There could be something like that, but it's going sideways as well. So there's kind of a few different options. So price is going sideways at the moment. There is maybe possible. There's definitely a bullish bias. Obviously, if we're ranging here, we broke above it. So little hammer, how you doing, buddy? But it's not filling me a lot of confidence to go long here, just in case, because that's what Dan's got there, which is but that's up to here. Now we're pushing up a bit. There may be something up there. We've got a touch there, a touch there. With something that doesn't have a massive amount of fits, for me, it's more of what does it visually look like. I'm all right, mate. Thanks. Yeah, no problem, mate. No problem. Sorry it was short. I still don't feel right at the moment. I'm still just getting headaches and just my dull neck. And I don't know, I kind of get this weird sensation where my skin is itching around. It's hard to say. Maybe it's all down to that blood pressure that shot up. I mean, my blood pressure was just under, I think it was 195 by 120 or something. It was ridiculously high. But I don't know whether it's all down to this infection in the gallbladder, but I've got a pre-op in a couple of weeks, and once I get it out, hopefully that sorts it out. So I don't feel right at the moment. I'm taking ibuprofen and paracetamol sort of every, I don't know, maybe 6 4 to 8 hours, depending on what it is. And when I've taken that, I don't feel too bad. So, I mean, it's also possible that the trouble is when you're in hospital, you're surrounded by so many people. Now, you guys like me, I'm a trader. I spend most of my life stuck in the house, so I rarely go out. And fortunately, because of that, I rarely get ill. But when you're in hospital, you're surrounded by dozens and dozens of people. And unfortunately, most of them are sick. So it is feasible that I picked up a virus or some sort. So what I'm feeling might just be because of a virus. But when you've had really high blood pressure and you've had the gallbladder, you can't help but thinking it can't be something that simple. But it may be. That may be the answer. So I do get tired quite a bit and I'm sleeping quite a bit. But hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll have this gallbladder out in about a month and that should solve my problems. It's just kind of weird. I've never really been ill. I have asthma, but it's mild. I just take something for acid reflux. I've always had sort of heartburn. I take something for acid reflux and that's it. I've never, I mean, I'm 56 now. I've never really taken anything. I've never been ill. I've been in hospital twice in my life. I did karate for 17 years, so I had a little bit of cartilage out of both knees between the space of around about 10 years, but I've just never been ill. So when something like that comes out the blue, it's a bit worrying. But yeah, a few days ago, I was faced with either meningitis or a possible brain bleed, which is neither of them are particularly good news. You can certainly lose your life for both of them, so I'm just kind of glad I'm out. Mind you, to be fair, when the specialist said it could be a brain bleed or meningitis, my wife looked shocked. All I wanted to do was to stop the pain. I'd never had a headache like that before or neck ache, which is why they kind of assumed meningitis. But because my blood pressure was so high, that's what it can do to you. But I've been kind of lucky throughout life, really. I know a lot of people have health issues right the way through their life, but touch wood, I really haven't apart from this. And I've not always been the most healthiest of persons. So I'm starting to think now that that's really weird. On my screen, that looks very pale. On the OBS that's streaming, it looks a lot darker. Must be something to do with how I've got my screen sorted out. Let me just brighten myself up a bit. I'm looking a bit dull. Just slow that shutter speed down a bit. That's a bit better. That's a lot better. Okay. Right, Brant. Nice, fail, second entry long. I'm not sure what I'm looking at, really. A different, I might not have reloaded mine, that's why. Yours the same as mine, are you? Yeah, they haven't really changed. You've only got to have something slightly different on your chart. This is my second chart, which is the same. That's strange. That's unusual. I don't know why that's reset itself. I usually have that set to 4. Deselected break it. No, so that should make it a little bit different. That's different. Yeah, there's a big bearish bar there, so Yeah, see, that looks a little better there, doesn't it? Trouble is there a slight channel up? Or is it just sideways? That's the trouble. It's a bit hard to the trouble is, I don't know, the more I look at that, the more I don't like it. It's hard to tell at the moment exactly what I can see. I think probably we should get rid of that. It's not super clear, really. Let's change that colour.
Order
Filled.
submitted.
Okay. I've just taken a trade on the other chart. Just going to bring it in. Channel up with a break, and we've bounced what looks off the bottom there. Guessing it's going to test this area, so there's a higher low there. I like that.
Order filled.
Woof.
Order filled.
Bloody hell, that worked quick. Wow, that works super quick. It's not often you get that lucky. Just thinking what it at. But it's clearly ranging there, and we got a channel with a break and a new low push up. There's not a higher low on here, but here there is. Let me just check everything's closed. So 88's closed. Let's just check 33. It's closed. I seem to have to go through each individual channel. Each individual account, that's closed. 88. It's closed. This one, that's closed. And also what I've got to do is, okay, we've got some news coming up, so just going to shove that out. Yeah, news is coming up now. We got 5 minutes, so plenty of time. There's actually a second entry short there. I don't think that's a bad trade, you know. I would prefer it a little bit higher. If it had broken above there, I would definitely take that. I still don't think it's terrible, but you've got to be a little bit careful because it hasn't broke that level there. And not one other quick thing as well, we know this, whenever you get a breakout one end, you often get one at another. So that's another reason to be careful there. Because it's fitting nice there, you get a breakout of one side, we often get one there. I've been caught out with those in the past, so I'm always a little bit aware. So I think there's a good chance we get into that level there, somewhere around about there. It may not, it may work, but whenever we have a nice range like that, I know I keep telling you this. It's not that I'm telling you, because you all know. It's just part of my process, but whenever we have a channel with a breakout of one end, I always expect on the other end, and more often than not we do. But there is still 2 legs up there, so maybe it might not make a difference now. But we'll see. But sometimes it doesn't matter. The fact we got a channel with a break and a new high and a bearish bar. As I say, I don't think it's a terrible trade, but what I try and do is when I've already won a trade, I try not to enter another one too quick. sometimes you can get a little bit too excited, and I don't get like I used to. You look at some of my older videos, whenever I want to trade, I chat like mad for about 3 minutes. I tend to not do that now. Use 2 minutes. Okay, I still think that that is likely to push above this. Okay, news is happening now. So the news is done and dusted. I expect that bar to get stopped out there. So push into this area here. So you've had a break out the bottom, break out the top, take out that stop, take out that, clear any liquidity across that top. So that's what I'm expecting to do, somewhere around about there. More tick, or 2 or 3 actually, clear that as well. Now it may actually go a little bit higher and not back into here. No, I think so. Possible. So another tick or so will take that out as well. Oh, interesting. So there was some sellers came in there which pushed that down 11 ticks quickly. So that's not much of a breakout there. But the trouble is 1, 2, we've had 3 attempts, 1, 2, 3 attempts. So it may not. I still think it will. But it may not now. We've there's actually a second entry short there, but price is above that EMA at the moment. There's still liquidity up above here. There's still a slight bullish element with, you know, higher low, higher low. Even that's a higher low, and it is a break, so I'd still expect it to at least get up here. But nothing is set in stone. Now we've had 1, 2, 3 attempts. It may not. I still wouldn't consider a short here just at the moment, just because of this breakout. It's just going sideways now. I'd still like to see that. Beauty is I've done one trade, so I'm more than happy. If I can get one trade every day, I'm more than happy. So I rarely take a second trade anyway, but I've only been here 30 minutes, so I think it's still worth getting the screen time. So at least I know now I can relax and not have to worry about. That's interesting. So there is a lower high there, so things may change here, but I'm still not getting sucked into a short just yet because of this breakout this side. Almost always we'll get one here. Whether it's the fact that we've got a bigger channel and this is going to continue up, or whether the fact we're just going to, there's more likely more sellers. I bet if I looked on Bookmap, there'd be more sellers up here. So let's have a quick look together. So there's sellers. Yeah, you can see them there, can't you? And there's some at 60, which is there. That's where I think price will go to. And there's some about 58, which is around about here. All of them are in this this little ball I've done. You can see them up there. So it just, sometimes it's nice to see this and think if you get into short, there's some sellers up here, so, or some sellers up here, so it's more likely going to get up there before it comes down. Hence, I'm just staying out of this. That one didn't trigger, so fortunately, but there's no guarantees. If there's enough people selling at this level, price will go down. Aggressive sellers, but at the moment, the pending orders are around about 58.5, which is about here, and then there's some around about 60. Which is up here, which is kind of more or less the middle of that ball, top part of the middle of that ball. So, see how everybody else is doing. So yeah, I wouldn't consider a short until it at least got into this blue ball here. Okay, Alpine's up some, good. Nutty doing. It's down 13,000. It's about 400 odd per account. It's not the end of the world, that. Most of his accounts are the 150,000 anyway, so it's not too bad. At least he's got a smile on his face. That's the main thing. Losing days are inevitable. They happen. It doesn't really matter. It's how you deal with them. And if you can sort of get over them, you're 3/4 of the way there. So we need a quick pop up now into this little blue box, somewhere around about the 58 to 60 mark, which is basically there. There we go. Now we've cleared out any liquidity here, so this is now where there's more sellers. We're at the 58s now, so it may come down, it may go a bit higher, or it could push up, it depends. Once it's above this, if there's enough buyers in here, it'll push another aggressive. The trouble is you can't really see so much the aggressive buyers until it happens. On Bookmap, at least you can see the passive orders, so I knew there was passive orders up here, so for me there'd be more sellers up here, so that kept me out of anything like that. Or anything like that. Not that it triggered anyway, but it is tempting if that's trigger. A lot of people are going to look at this range, you're going to get 3 attempts to go higher, or even there. 1, 2, 3, and they'll be short in that, and they're all kind of trapped. So then when that pushes up, it takes out all them. So those buy orders then, as we know, turns into sell orders, and then you get other sellers in here shorting it, which then will sometimes create that. But so break out the bottom, break out the top to match, sellers coming in, price going down. Is it going to continue down, or are we going to get buyers in pushing up? Who knows? So bookmap is useful sometimes if you're thinking about taking a short here and you do see there's a lot of orders up here. As we know, price moves towards liquidity, so it's more often than not going to push into that area. And the fact that we've had a breakout the opposite side, and we know almost always when we're ranging, we get a breakout of one end, we often get a repeat the other end. So that's a reason not to get in short here. That wouldn't have worked. That one would have done for a couple of points. That one fortunately didn't trigger. That bearish bar has triggered. So now those orders are gone. They're in the market. They're into the chart. Are we going to get buyers pushing up some more, testing the overnight highs, or is this thing going to come back into the meat of the... Who knows? Who knows? So that's Dan's chart. Pretty much got the same overnights over here. And it's pretty much a range. It's got the little pop out the top there, same as me. Yeah, it's nothing more you can do than that, really. It's Thomas Wade looking at. I bet Thomas Wade is... there we go. So I bet Thomas Wade is looking at the channel. And he is. You get to know different traders. There's quite a big difference. Although we trade the same thing, there's a real clear difference between Thomas Wade and Dan. Dan tends to keep channels very tight. Thomas Wade quite quickly looks for bigger channels. I would say for me, I'm kind of in the middle. I do look for bigger channels, but I do rate Dan as a solid trader. He's really good at reading the markets. So I try and keep things, I'll have ideas and test things, but I'll try and keep things as tight as I can. But that's pretty much what I expected from him. Now, he could be right or he could be wrong. You never quite know, really. You just have to kind of do the best, learn what you've sort of, use what you've learned and kind of do it. But we all got slightly different ways sometimes. For the majority, 70% of the time, we all kind of looking at the same picture, but there is a difference in how we kind of sort of set up our thing. But I thought about channel, but it's more choppy and sideways than a channel, so I think the best thing is to get rid of it, as I did. But I will say trading's actually got a bit easier lately. And then all of a sudden we get 2 days like this. I mean, that really was a horrible day. I don't quite know why there was such low volume, but it's very, very tightly compact. And it's all kind of mixed up together, isn't it? I mean, look at this. You can't do nothing with that. A lot of this as well, it's still, possible triple test. What do? Comes down a bit, pushes up, stops them out by a tick and then drops. So this is hard to trade. There's not really much you can do with that. There was a trade there that I think probably the only one I considered, that one yesterday. I mean, we're clearly just sort of going sideways. Depends on how you look at it. I don't think it was a terrible trade, but one, it is a bit congested, and two, that bar just had a little bit of wick. It's a tick or two off a doji, that, which kept me out of that. If that was a bullish bar there, I'd have probably had a go at that, because you're probably going to have some lower high traders there. So I think that would have been worthwhile, but just because of that little wick, it kept me out of the game. But it's quite hard to trade that. I think that's where years of experience kind of pays off. You can probably pick off a few bits and pieces. I don't think Dan marked anything. I think Mac only marked about half a dozen trades for the day. I think maybe not even that. So we're holding here. This thing looks like it's going to push up. So my guess was sellers were going to come down here, and it did push down quite strong. you know, these buy orders were obviously converted, which gives it downward momentum, and then you've got other sellers in there as well, which push that down. But was it going to continue down? I didn't think so, because you can see prices holding here, and obviously there's a slight bullish momentum. So my guess is it's probably going to push up and test these highs. Now, whether that continues up into something larger, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but it's not a lot you can do here, really. But fortunately, I've been lucky enough to have an opportunity today, so I've got my payment for the day, so I'm more than pleased. So I can just relax now and just sometimes it's nice to get your trade out of the way. I rarely take more than one trade in a day. It would have to be something spectacular. So I'm quite happy and relaxed. So in fact, what I'm going to do is, while it's chopping around, I'm just going to take a quick 5 minutes and make a cup of tea, and then I will be back. Okay, sorry about that. So, yeah, I did suspect we were going to test these overnight highs. Yeah, it's definitely a sort of slightly err on the side of bullish, but I don't really think there's any kind of a channel there. It may look a little bit better later, we'll see, but Okay, possibly a little second entry long there.
Order submitted. Order cancelled. Order submitted. Order cancelled.
Looking for a possible second entry long. Here, 2 legs down. Didn't look too bad. I was still expecting it to test these highs, so but it's not triggered. Surprisingly enough. That didn't work out a little better there. Second entry long never triggered. So see if we can get a higher low. It's trapping some longs there, I think. So something's not right there. So what I'm guessing is we've had that channel with a break to pushes to a new high. So this is probably going to come down. There is a failure there. Definitely going to trap what's it there, but do I want to get involved in that? Not really. Still kind of a bullish feel to it at the moment. So, but there is a failure there. You've definitely trapped longs there. Trouble is you're only 2 ticks away from stopping out. So it may come down, bounce off support here, and then push up. So I'm sitting tight here at the moment. What I will say though, if if it does bounce here and push up, you've got short strap there and short strap there. But at the moment, it's hard to say. This thing may come back down a little bit. I'd have liked to see it. Trouble is, when you have something like that, it ends up, yesterday you got this big downtrend, a couple of pushes up, 2 legs up and a bearish bar and a big strong drop. For me, there's a good possibility that that could be the high of the day, because it really sold off quick. So it may not get up here for the rest of the day. I dare say with that push up there, to push up, couple of good strong pushes up followed by a really strong sell-off. There may be traders buying that late last night for a move down. So we may not get up here. So there is possibility we've had a channel there, like a spiking channel or something. Trouble is, I like that, which means we're still in there at the moment, but there is a possibility this thing might not get any higher. And also, this now is maybe starting to look like a channel. And the reason I say that, Dan posted a chart earlier. Sorry, Dan, Marco posted a chart earlier, and he's looking at this with a break, 2 pushes to a new high, so this may come down. So that bearish bar there that's now triggered, it did come back up. I don't know whether it triggered after, but it's trapped longs there. There's bound to be longs in there, thinking this is going to push up. So there'll be liquidity here, and this may come down and clear a lot of this. So another reason to think we've had a break, 2 pushes to a new high. And as I say, this is Marco's chart. He was looking at the same thing. Yeah, he took that trade there. I left it because of this, but it did work. It went for about 2.5 points, so he only goes for 6 ticks, so that's fine. Back to the EMA. But yeah, he's looking at that. I had that a little while ago, and then we've had a break, 2 pushes. So yeah, this looks like it's having a little bit of a pullback. How far it's going to pull back, who knows? But when I saw that bearish bar there, I'm thinking longs trap there. So this may just end up being a range day after all. But when you see such strong selling there, we kind of, we opened here, didn't we? Pushed up. So we had a little channel there with a break, 2 pushes to note. So it still works out. It still plays out the same. I know Mac doesn't pay any attention to what happened the day before, but if you look, we got a clear channel up there with a break, 2 clear pushes, and then all of a sudden, that big bullish bar there, it triggers and then comes down really strong as a bounce. Couldn't get above this again. And a big, serious red bar there, bearish bar. Then look at that sell-off like that. That came down 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 points relatively quickly. So whether price will get above here for the rest of the day, I don't know. Sometimes the stronger the position, the less chance it has. The more chance it has of holding. So when this seems to be struggling, my guess is that we've probably had a break in a new low, and it's just kind of looking ranges. So I'm thinking it's probably going to come down, clear any of these areas, and who knows. Probably more buyer's trap there, I'd say. It's a bit too late now. We've got there, so there's first entry. So there's probably buyers there. So I don't think that was a bad trade, to be fair. But I'm still on the fence. Have we really had a break in a new high? So it's not super clear, but that bearish bar, you're definitely going to be trapping buyers there. But sorry, longs there. But the trouble is, if you've got 2 or 3 points and you've trapped longs, great. But this, if you go a tick below there, there's a tick to take those out. So you don't know when it's going to come down there. Take out that stop there and bounce off here and continue higher. So there's still a little bit of discrepancy. Have we had a break? Is it kind of exhausted itself pushing up? If there's sellers stops up here from early sellers, with such a big strong move down, it is possible it may not get taken out if it's strong up there. Sometimes when price gets back off, they may enter. I don't kind of know how they work, to be fair. You just kind of get used to knowing how the chart works. But when you do see strong positions, often it will take out weaker positions early, but those strong positions will hold. So depending on whether this is going higher, who knows? But there is a relatively strong position there. We push strong above that EMA. So times like that might hold unless we are just generally ranging, in which case it's probably going to work its way down here and eat out any sort of stops that may, pick off positions that are kind of still kind of in the mix, so to speak. But as I say, I've done my one trade, so I am not in a hurry to take another one. I've had these two schools of thought. I tend to not like taking another trade, but I think in all fairness, whenever you're sat in front of this chart, regardless of what's happened, whether you've taken a trade or not, if you see a solid trade, I still think you should still take it. Because if I have one trade today, I'm still going to take another trade, but it may be tomorrow. Now, where's the difference? Why should I sit here week after week after week and hardly see any trades, and then when I do see a trade, refuse it because I've already taken one in a day? Does it really matter? So I think you still shouldn't look a gift horse in the mouth. I think if you see a solid trade, even if you've just taken one 20 minutes ago, I think it's still worth. I think you should still take it. Let me have a look. Okay, channel down with a break, push up, crossed over bearish bar. Trouble is, there's still that. Is there a larger chart? Channel. In which case, if there is, we could have a channel down. I mean, it's always possible that could be the channel there, and we've had a break. 2 pushes to a new low. So this could go up. If there's a bigger channel up here and it's had a break, you could definitely say there's 2 legs there. It still could push up. So there's too many ifs and buts here, really, for me to think about taking a trade. This isn't clear. So if I was to take another trade, I certainly wouldn't do it based on what I can see now, because as I say, it ain't clear. Just make this a bit darker. Yeah, so there's too many ifs and buts. But if there is a channel down there with a break, it may well make a new low, but it could also have one leg up, pull back, trap some shorts, and have a second leg up, break the highs, break the overnight highs. So there's too many questions here. Off the bat list, getting the direction right. Now, where is the direction going temporarily? Is it going down below there to clear that? Or is it trapping shorts to push up and break a new high? Depends what you think about that channel. I've had it like that, and I've had it like that. It's a break, 2 pushes to a new high, in which case it could come back into the meat of the channel. So it's a tough one, really. So I'll just chat with a buddy. Okay, so what are we looking at? Hard to know at the moment. So 2 scenarios: channel with a break, possible second entry short and down to a new low, or possible bigger channel up with a break and moving up. To be fair, that looks less likely now, the fact that we've pushed above the EMA strong and pushed below the EMA strong. So my gut feeling is with this channel, we've got 2 pushes up. If this breaks above here and comes bearish, I think it's more likely to come down. But at the moment, it's an inside bar. In fact, on my second chart, it's looking better. It's very tempting. I'm just not so sure. See, on this chart, that looks very tempting as a second entry short and a lower high, but it's hard to say really. There is a possibility that we could get a failure here and it pushes up. You're going to have stops there, stops here, stops there. It's hard to say. There's something about this that's making me a bit nervous. We've got a little channel. So also, just for reference, we've got a little micro there with a break. We haven't made a new high of this. If that is a channel, we haven't made a new high, which means it could reverse up, or sorry, push up. So you are going to have stops down there for sure. And if I saw that and was coming down, my gut feeling would be that's going to get stopped out. But at the moment, 1, 2, 3, 4, you've got 4 bars stacked side by side there. So there's kind of a double trap. You've got longs in there and you've got shorts in there. So it could go either way, really. What do I think? Tough one. I don't know is the answer. I'd say if I took that long there, my gut feeling, I would be waiting to get stopped out. But if this finishes bullish, then I think the tables turn. I think the shorts are in trouble there. But it's just too unclear at the moment. You know, I don't even have to think about making a decision. I can just look at that and it either feels right or it doesn't feel right. And at the moment, it feels super risky. But the way that's closed there, I think it's more likely going to stop out the buys there. A trade like that goes like that and comes down, for me, is almost always going to get stopped out. It's just how I feel about it, you know, obviously from experience and stuff like that. But it could turn, you know. But if I had to bet on this, I'd say I think there's more chance it's going to stop below that bar there. But it may change. Not only that, if you look here, channel down with a break. So there's 2 scenarios. We could have already had a break at a new high, in which case we're moving down some, or it could still push up, clear this out, and there's a wider channel. Who knows? We'll see how this bar feels here. But the trouble is, if that pushes up to there, it's even more choppy then. It's even more congested. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars side by side then. It just depends if there's more buyers and sellers, it'll go up, vice versa. Possible failure. Got a little bullish bar here. It's not the best looking bar, but it's certainly way more green than it is red, and that's triggered, so this may still come down. It stops down here for sure, and obviously on this chart here, so I still think it's more likely to come down, but because it's so stacked sideways, there's obviously a battle going on, and it's a battle I don't want to be part of, and all of a sudden we've had a quick push down. If that finishes bearish, my gut feeling this is coming down. We have had an attempt to push up, but it didn't really get very far, but you know, so it's 50-50, isn't it? So when it's like this, best course of action is to do nothing. Let them get on with it. Let them fight it out. You may win, but you could be a casualty. But when it's choppy like that, it's really, for me, a toss of a coin. You're never going to make money flipping coins. Oh, dear. okay, I'm going to call it a day there. I still don't feel fantastic at the moment. I still keep getting a bit hot and cold, and I'm up a nice trade today. As I say, I've got 8 accounts at the moment. I've got 3 Apex accounts, and I'm trading them 2 contracts, so I'm up $900 on those. And the other 5 accounts, 150 on each of them, so 750. So I'm up 1650 minus commission. So that's a good result for me. So I'm happy. So I'm going to go and put my feet up for the afternoon. So I'll leave you guys to it. I appreciate the company. Have a great day. Have a good evening. Stay safe, and we'll catch up tomorrow. Bye for now.